Today we will be discussing about the chemical formula of water, how is it formed, and the reaction of different metals with water. The chemical formula of water is H2O. So what does H2O mean? When water is formed, two atoms of hydrogen combine with one atom of oxygen to give one molecule of water. So how many atoms of hydrogen? Two. That is the reason why we write H2. Two atoms of hydrogen. How many atoms of oxygen? One. That is why we just write O. And they combine to give one molecule of water, that is H2O. So H2 plus O gives out H2O. Metals react with water to produce hydrogen, but the reaction of metals with water differs from metals to metals. Some react with cold water, whereas some metals react with hot water or steam. Some reactions are violent, while some reactions are slow. So let's discuss the reaction of metals with water. The first metal is sodium. Sodium reacts with cold water. The reaction is violent. In fact, sometimes an explosion may take place. When sodium reacts with water, it burns with an orange flame. Hydrogen gas is produced during the reaction. Look at the equation. Na stands for sodium, reacts with H2O, that is water, and what type of water? Cold water, to produce NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, and H2, that is hydrogen. Next to hydrogen, I have placed an upward arrow. The upward arrow indicates that it is a gas. The next metal is potassium. Potassium reacts with cold water. The reaction is violent. When potassium reacts with water, it burns with a lilac flame. Hydrogen gas is produced during the reaction. Look at the equation. K, that is potassium, reacts with H2O, that is water. What type of water? Cold water, to produce KOH, that is potassium hydroxide, and H2, that is hydrogen. Upward arrow to indicate that hydrogen is a gas. It is very necessary to balance the equations because matter is neither created nor destroyed. Okay, and we've already learned how to balance an equation. The next metal is calcium. Calcium reacts with cold water. The reaction is very slow. Calcium forms a white precipitate with water. What is a precipitate? Precipitate is an insoluble solid. That means when calcium reacts with water, the product that is produced is insoluble in water. Hydrogen gas is produced during the reaction. Let's look at the equation. Ca, that is calcium, reacts with H2O, water, that is cold water, to produce CaOH twice, that is calcium hydroxide, and H2, that is hydrogen, upward arrow to indicate it is a gas. The next metal is magnesium. Magnesium does not react with cold water. It reacts with hot water to produce hydrogen. So remember, magnesium reacts with hot water and not cold water. Let's look at the reaction now. Mg, that is magnesium, reacts with H2O, water. What type of water? Hot water, to produce MgO, that is magnesium oxide, plus H2, that is hydrogen, and an upward arrow to indicate it is a gas. Now, if you see the reaction properly, sodium, potassium, and calcium, when they reacted with cold water, they were producing hydro oxide. But here, when magnesium reacts with hot water, it produces an oxide and not a hydroxide. The next metal is aluminium. Like magnesium, aluminium also reacts with hot water and does not react with cold water. Hydrogen gas is produced during the reaction. Let's look at the equation now. Al, that is aluminium, reacts with H2O, water. What type of water? Hot water, to produce Al2O3, that is aluminium oxide plus H2 hydrogen. Upward arrow to indicate it is a gas. The next metal is zinc. Zinc reacts with hot water. It does not show any reaction with cold water. Hydrogen gas is produced during the reaction. Now, this reaction runs very smoothly. It is neither violent, neither it is very slow. So, it is used in the laboratory preparation of hydrogen. That means to produce hydrogen in the laboratory, this reaction is used. Zinc is reacted with hot water to produce hydrogen. Now, let's look at the equation. Zn, that is zinc, reacts with H2O, water. What type of water? Hot water, to produce ZNO, that is zinc oxide, and H2, that is hydrogen. Upward arrow to indicate it is a gas. The next metal is iron. The reaction of iron with water is very interesting because iron does not react with cold water, nor does it react with hot water. It reacts with steam. In fact, iron itself should be red hot. So, red hot iron reacts with steam to produce hydrogen gas. Let's see the equation now. Fe, that is iron, reacts with H2O, that is water, in the form of steam. Look at the arrow. It is a double arrow. Double arrow indicates it is a reversible reaction. That means you can get back the original substance, okay, to produce Fe3O4, that is iron oxide, plus H2 hydrogen. Upward arrow to indicate it is a gas. So till now, all the equations, all the reactions that we had done, only the reaction of iron with steam is a reversible reaction. This is how different metals react with water. Sodium, potassium, calcium react with cold water. Magnesium, aluminium, and zinc react with hot water. Red hot iron reacts with steam. All reactions are irreversible except the reaction of red hot iron with steam. But the final product in all the cases is hydrogen. So metals react with water to produce hydrogen gas. And remember, we should always balance the equations. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.